What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today is May the 12th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some hot movers and what big money is doing today. Before I get into any of that though, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, not really that much in data points today to really pay attention to, rather what came out early this morning. So US and China agrees to slash tariffs for 90 days. So the States is reducing their tariffs on China to 30% from 145. Flip side, China is reducing theirs down to 10. Market is absolutely loving it. So Dow is up 2.32%, S&P 2.86%, and then NASDAQ up 3.69%. Anticipate a lot of analysts to really flip. So a lot of the ones that did give, let's say 52 to 5400 S&P targets for the end of the year, anticipate them to flip and change it to probably, I would anticipate 62 to probably 6300 at the end of the day. So that will also further boost the broader market most likely. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. And again, this has been improving quite significantly. Anticipate today for it to jump to the extreme greed category. So let me know your viewpoint on that. But getting right to it, SOFI is up 7.06%. Absolutely kick ass. So it's obviously far exceeding the futures, and I think just a lot of people now are seeing SOFI for the value. So one thing that you'll see as a big kind of difference today is what people are really paying attention to and maybe have been somewhat neglecting. So that's probably where you'll see a lot of, or at least majority of the volume today. When it comes down to shorts, 13.48% of the free float is being shorted. So I anticipate shorts with SOFI and many other kind of heavily shorted stocks somewhat for them to be really panic selling. So in very few cases do I anticipate for them to logically double down. So today will be a very interesting day. And if you're a squeeze player, maybe with SOFI or some other stocks, you'll be probably at the edge of your seat all day. But aside from that though, with it at 1408, slightly below this R1, so 1413 will be a key pivot for it today. So just kind of watch for that. Flip side, 1552 and then 1778 are going to be the following kind of target / resistance points. Moving on, RGTI getting a lot of volume. They do have their earnings coming out after hours today. And so the current estimates are -4 cents for the earnings per share, 2.55 million for the revenue. And then over the last 90 days, you have seen 4 positive and 0 negative revisions to the earnings per share. So this one's going to be one to really watch for. At the same time, this does match with this, so people's appetite for risk increasing. Obviously, people will be flocking to stocks such as RGTI and so forth. But 23.19% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 65.32 million shares overall are being shorted. So I anticipate shorts to be really crapping themselves today with this stock and leading into the earnings as well. Probably is just icing on the cake, but right now with it at 1184, it is slightly above this R3. So just watch for 1497 to be the next strong target, and then 1178 to be that strong pivot and support, at least for the primary level. So let me know your viewpoint on that in the comments below. The rest of the stocks for the most part are large cap. So again, going to show that big money is rotating back into what they see as large cap value plays, such as, I don't know, I'm sure I'm going to get hate for calling Palantir a value play, but it is up 3.84%, and the rest of the stocks it kind of makes sense with, but no actual news from them today. As far as shorts, 2.5% of the free float. So it's kind of funny. I know for those of you that have watched my pre-market and I've brought up Palantir in the past, I say that shorts have PTSD, and it is absolutely comical. They didn't double down whatsoever, but as you can kind of see from this, they did increase. So 2.31% to 2.5. So probably another, I would say, maybe 10 million, 8 million shares, give or take. So they do that, and then this news drops. So shorts are really going to have PTSD with Palantir. Like, doesn't matter if the world is ending, Palantir will not have shorts. So this is kind of the comical thing about Palantir. And most likely, the lack of interest from shorts is what has really kept it at these levels. So Palantir is definitely a very interesting stock all in all, but with it right now at 121, it is trading between this R2 and R1. So 133 is going to be the next strong target. I don't see that being touched this week, or maybe this week, possibly, dependent on kind of the further momentum. But 121 is going to be the strong support for it to really watch today. So just kind of watch for that. But yeah, Palantir is a beast. Don't bet against it, in my opinion. But moving on, Apple. So Apple is up 6.02%. Like I said, big money is really focusing on the large caps that have been really hit. Apple is a very interesting scenario. So I think it's piggybacking off the market, even though it did move a lot of its kind of business to India, which is very poor timing on their part. But at the end of the day, they're still piggybacking with the broader market. Not heavily shorted, so 0.61% of the free floats being shorted works out to be 90.53 million shares. Interesting point though, even though only 0.61% of the free floats being shorted, that does work out to be $17.97 billion. So that small amount is already more than many market caps of stocks that I've already talked on. But a couple of key points to watch for with Apple. I'll give you a quick overview of that. So for Apple, it is right now with it at 210, trading between this R1 and the pivot. So 202 is going to be a strong support. Then 223 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. And then last but not least, I do feel bad. I've been in this scenario in the past when good news drops, market is rallying, and you are left holding the one and only stock that pretty much just gets hit. So BTCS is down 35%. And there isn't any news, no SEC filings or anything like that for today. So I think it is just a level of profit taking, or maybe there is something that's happening behind the scenes that maybe mainstream media isn't really aware or privy to, but it is down a little bit this morning, and it's not overly heavily shorted, so it's not shorts or anything like that. So 3.78% of the free floats being shorted works out to be 486,000 shares. But like I said at the beginning, people's appetite for risk is most likely going to jump to the extreme greed category. So I do anticipate this to be logically bought up in some capacity, but I don't really know, like I said, what is exactly causing the distress and why it's going down this morning. But right now with it at 212, trading between this R3 and this R2. So 211 is going to be a strong support. Flip side, 239 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. So in my opinion, I feel like based on just the momentum in the market, this R3 is probably where it will land. But again, if maybe stocks or big money really wants to sell and target a company to bring it down, then you never know. You could see this 211 or this 194 potentially being touched. So with all that said, let me know your thoughts on the market. Are you kind of in a buying mood, or are you going to be taking profits? What's your general thoughts on today? And then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon and get buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.